Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I strongly support this bill and its aim of reinforcing Singapore's commitment to racial harmony. This is a principle that has anchored our social stability and will continue to be vital as our society becomes more interconnected. The introduction of clear measures to address emerging risk is timely and necessary. As we implement this bill, it is important to provide clarity for trade associations and foreign chambers of commerce so that they can continue their work in strengthening economic partnerships and fostering international collaboration. We must ensure that these business-focused organizations continue to be able to operate effectively within this framework and reinforce Singapore's standing as a trusted global business hub. I therefore have 5 clarifications to the Minister. First, one key area requiring clarification is the classification of trade associations under this bill. The bill states that organizations promoting the interests of specific racial groups may be designated as race-based entities, subjecting them to restrictions on foreign affiliations, mandatory disclosures, and leadership requirements. It is unclear whether local or foreign chambers of commerce and business trade associations, which primarily focus on trade facilitation, investment promotion, and industry collaboration, would fall under this classification. For instance, within Singapore Business Federation, we have representation from Singapore Chinese Chamber, Indian and Malay Chamber of Commerce, American Chamber of Commerce, China Enterprises Associations, European Chamber of Commerce, and the Japanese Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Each of them plays crucial roles in facilitating trade, investment, and cross-border business relations. These associations serve economic purpose, focusing on bilateral trade policies, market access, and regulatory advocacy, and not promoting any racial agenda. I would like to ask the Minister to confirm if trade-based organizations will be exempted from designation given their distinct function from community-based racial entities. My second clarification is related to restrictions on foreign donations and affiliations. Some foreign trade associations receive funding from overseas business networks, foundations, corporate sponsorships, and membership fees from foreign companies. Under this bill, such funding could be classified as foreign donations and subject to regulatory scrutiny. For example, if a multinational enterprise sponsors a networking event hosted by a trade association, would this be deemed a foreign donation requiring disclosure or approval? If so, even though the bill does not prohibit a designated trade association from accepting such sponsorship, the compliance implication for multinational enterprises could be significant. Their internal risk assessment may classify sponsorship of a designated entity as a potential regulatory exposure, leading them to reconsider, or in worst case, withdraw financial support. This could in turn discourage MNCs from engaging with trade associations in Singapore, limiting the ability of these associations to organize industry events, foster business collaborations, and advocate for trade and investment growth. Another common practice is industry collaborations between local and foreign business councils. For example, if a Singapore-based association receives funding from an ASEAN business counterpart, would that funding be classified as a foreign donation? The implication of such a designation could hinder industry collaboration across markets. My third clarification is in relation to leadership restrictions requiring more than 50% of governing body members to be Singapore citizens. While the intent is to prevent undue foreign influence, this could pose practical challenges for foreign chambers and trade associations that rely on senior representations from multinational corporations. These individuals bring industry expertise, strengthen bilateral ties, and advocate for business-friendly policies. Would such advocacy be hindered by restrictions on non-Singaporean leadership in trade organizations? Would the Minister therefore consider flexibility in leadership requirements for trade associations that do not engage in racial or political advocacy? Fourth, I would like to seek clarification on the subject of foreign affiliations. In today's fast-changing world, trade associations must remain nimble, flexible, and responsive to support businesses and strengthen international partnerships. Trade associations frequently sign MOUs and establish partnerships with overseas trade bodies, embassies, and government-linked investment agencies to promote cultural as well as business exchanges, facilitating trade and strengthening international cooperation. These agreements are a regular and necessary part of global business engagement, allowing Singapore companies to expand their networks and access new markets. Under this bill, would such partnership be subject to foreign influence reporting requirements? And if so, what criteria would determine whether an MOU or collaboration falls under these regulations? Clear and well-defined guidelines will enable them to continue fostering global collaboration seamlessly while upholding Singapore's strong social fabric. Finally, I seek clarification on whether local and foreign trade associations will be clearly informed of the criteria used to classify them as race-based entities. As these organizations focus on business, trade facilitation, and international collaboration, it is important they understand the basis for their classification under this bill. If an association appeals against a designation, clear guidelines are essential to ensure transparency in classification criteria and assessment factors. This will help trade associations operate with confidence while ensuring compliance. I asked the Minister whether these classifications will be made transparent in advance and what the appeal process for exemptions will entail. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, maintaining racial harmony is a fundamental pillar of our society, and this bill reinforces our collective commitment to safeguarding it. At the same time, Singapore has been recognized as a trusted hub for trade and investment with a strong reputation for regulatory clarity and openness to global partnerships. As we implement this bill, let us give assurance to our trade associations and foreign chambers of commerce such that they can continue to play their role in strengthening business ties and facilitating international collaboration. Bearing my clarification, I fully support the bill.